we're here to another preview for the Fleetwood Town game on Saturday. Very fortunate to have Ben with us, a Fleetwood YouTuber. Ben, are you all right?
I'm very good, thank you, mate. How are you?
Thank you. Are you ready to get down and talking about the game for tomorrow?
Absolutely, going to be a very tough game, but I'm very looking forward to speaking to you about it, mate.
So if we just have a little lowdown, obviously the EFL window is now closed today. What recruitment of Fleetwood done over the summer, and what signings should Lincoln fans be looking out for?
Well, if you asked me 3 or 4 hours ago, I would have been a bit worried. We brought in some good players. Callum Camps was a great signing from Rochdale, and I've said him and George Grant that you've got in midfield. I think are probably two of the best attacking midfielders in the league. The runs they make, the way they can score goals, and I think it's very promising for both sides. We've also brought in a couple of defenders, young lads, who are very good as well. Sam Stubbs from Middlesbrough, obviously Aaron Stubbs' son. We brought in Morgan Boys on loan from Liverpool, who's been decent so far. We brought in Sam Finley, who's not been on the pitch yet due to a ban. Got Rossiter coming back from injury, we signed in the summer. And we signed Mulgrew today, and one of my favourites, Callum Connell, who's a brilliant player, and Mark Duffy as well. So we've had a lot of good recruitment in the summer. As have you. I think it's going to be a very good game. Appleton's got his players now that he wanted. Barton's in his third year, third time lucky. And it should be a very interesting tie with the new players on show.
Obviously, you've had a bit of a mixed start to the season, but you beat Hull on Friday night last week, which was quite impressive. You know, I watched the game myself. How have you felt the season's gone to this point?
Frustrating, because we know we had bodies needed in, and we knew we had areas that we needed to improve of. Obviously in the central areas, that's why we've signed 2 today. And we signed a right back. We hadn't had a right back. We had our winger there. So we were without a bit of depth attacking wise on the bench. We were playing a lot of young lads. We beat Burton on the first game of the season, and then we lost to Peterborough, being 1-up in the 9th minute, losing 2-1 there. So it was always going to be difficult for us. But again, I think we've improved massively with that win, and I think with these new signings, it'll kick us going now.
I think the player that caught my eye most on Friday night was Harvey Saunders.
Yeah.
Obviously 2 goals for him. It's a really good story, actually, of how he's become a professional footballer. How impressed have you been with him so far this year?
Well, I was impressed with him in February when he first came on at Sunderland away, and we were 1-0 up at the time. We ended up drawing 1-1 in the last minute. But he came on with an urgency, wanting to get on the ball and run. And you see these young lads coming on, run like headless chickens. But I went, look at him when he gets on the ball, he's calm, composed, and he'll find a pass. And he went, oh, it's all right, he's only on for 15, 20 minutes. And I went, give him a chance, he'll come going. And he got a chance in pre-season. He scored twice against Carlisle in the Cup. And that, I think, got him going. I think that was a perfect game for him to get him going, and again scored against Rochdale on his league, on his first league game, his first league goal, and then obviously he scored 3 against Villa in the Cup, and then 2 against Hull. He's outstanding. He's got a great attitude. He always wants to learn, and I believe he'll play in the Premier League one day, and that's not me being biased. He's a top player, top pro, and always wants to learn.
Obviously, Joe Barton's your manager nowadays. He's quite a controversial figure, especially with the Lincoln fan base after his performance for Burnley in the FA Cup when we beat them in the FA Cup 5th round a couple of years ago. How has he got on so far in management?
Very good. At first, I was a doubter. I'll be honest, I wasn't really keen on the appointment. But again, he's proven me wrong. He's a very intelligent guy. He'll always have time for the fans. He'll always speak to you. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a top manager, and we'll go far, and we'll manage in the Premier League one day. And he's one of those, if he's yours, you love him, and if he's not, you don't like him. Obviously, he's done a lot of bad stuff in football, as everyone knows, but nobody praises the good stuff he's done. 2 years in management, 11th and a 6th place finish. Again, he's got a team that was, in my opinion, an awful Fleetwood side to a very good Fleetwood side with good backing as well behind him. But his recruitment has been spot on. He can improve a player, and he talks a very good game. So he's a very good guy, massive fan of his, and I don't think he'll be out for much longer, unfortunately.
feel it was a bit of a controversial appointment. Obviously, there was all that media speculation around the tunnel incident with Daniel Stendhal at Barnsley. Has he matured, do you think, since becoming a manager from when he was a player?
100%, 100%. And for me, I only look into the future, and that's all he can change. And I think he's a top guy. I think he'll improve as he goes along. For me, innocent until proven guilty, and I think he's just handbags, if I'm honest with you. He's a passionate guy, and if you do know him, you know he is a top guy, and you see his many qualities and the way he can speak about a game of football. And he's controversial, but he speaks facts, and you think fair play. Do you know what I mean? And I think some people hate him because it's cool to hate him when actually he is one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. And some of the stuff he's done while he's been at the club, obviously charity visits, donating to obviously fans doing walks, including myself. And he's one of those who goes above and beyond to help players, help the fans out, and he's always praising other people. And I think he'll only get better as a manager, and he can only change it in the future, and that's what he has done for the last 2.5 years.
And Fleetwood came to Central Bank at the start of last season. Obviously, we turned you over 2-0. How much have Fleetwood changed since that day? Obviously, Callum Connolly has since swapped shirts, as you might say. How far have you come?
Well, thanks for reminding me about that, mate. I just about forgot about that. No, Connolly is an A signing. I love him. I think you look at that side, a lot of the players have left now. Tommy Spur moved on. No, sorry, not Tommy Spur. Hunter moved on. A lot of the players have moved on. We brought a lot of reinforcements in, and I think that was the day. If I'm honest with you, I thought that was one of Fleetwood's best performances all season. I thought we were tremendous. I just thought Lincoln were. I thought the first 30 minutes, I thought there should be about 6-0 to Fleetwood right now, and you scored 2 goals. For the lad who was on loan from Forest at the time, Tom Walker up front, top player, one of the best in the league at the time, and we're going on have a good career in my opinion. But again, you got 2 goals and you defended well, and the rest is history.
And just moving your attention onto Lincoln a little bit, we've had quite a rebuild job over the summer. If you've paid much attention, signing Robbie Gotts yesterday was quite a good bit of business for us. But we're a very different Lincoln side to what you would have faced that day as well. What have been your opinions on our recruitment and our window?
Very good. Obviously, the players that you brought in have been top. Gotts, who was interested, 12 or 13 clubs you saw who was interested in. He was like joining the queue, and Michael Appleton has brought him in. And again, you've got the players that suit your system. You've got Grant in there. You've got goal scorers in there. You're good at the back. You've got a good goalkeeper. Vickers, I think it is. Again, I just think the way that you've let some of the more experienced players, I know you lost Boswick and Eardley, you were experienced lads for you, but you've replaced well, and I think you brought in the right area, so it should be a good season for you. I've backed you in and around the playoffs.
4 wins from 5, obviously, would back that statement up. Moving on to tomorrow, obviously we both think it'll be quite a tight game. 2 very good sides. How can you see it going down?
Well, it's going to be very interesting. Both sides should be up there at the end of the year. Both attacking teams that like to score goals, as we've seen. I don't think that game last week reflects the other side. I just think it's one of those days where you get unlucky and it's a frustrating afternoon. You have them once in a while in a season. Better to have them now than 4 games to go when you need to be winning games of football. But again, we've not been good this so far. We were excellent last week. We've got a few additions in now. We'll be a much better side than we were in the last few weeks. I think it'll be a draw. I'll go for 1-1.
Yeah. Obviously, with it being at Fleetwood, I think at this moment in time, a lot of Lincoln fans would take a point from the game, given where Fleetwood finished last year. So I think I'm probably going to say, a bit pessimistic, but I think Fleetwood will win 2-1, just about. I think it'll be tight. But
hopefully, mate.
Thank you very much, Ben, for coming on. The links for Ben's YouTube channel will be in the description. Obviously, we're hoping Lincoln can get another 3 points tomorrow. And thank you very much for watching. Cool.
Thanks, mate. Top man.